Hey guys, it's Greta here, and today I'm going to be taking you through my process when it comes to finding the right influencer to work with for your brand. Across my 4 multi-million-dollar e-commerce brands, I've worked with over 5,000 influencers, and I now run an influencer marketing platform called Hey Influencers. I've learned a thing or 10 when it comes to influencer marketing, and I'm here to share some of that with you today. My process when it comes to finding the right influencer for your brand starts with what I call the 3 R's of the right influencer. So the first R is reach, and that's the size of the influencer's following, whether they're a micro influencer and maybe have a more engaged niche community, or a macro influencer and have a larger reach and following. So that's the first R. When we're looking to do micro influencer outreach for product for post campaigns or gifting, we're going to be looking for people with between maybe 10 to 50,000 followers. So that's kind of going to be our sweet spot. Actually, I usually start closer to like the 5,000 follower mark. So even if they're great content creators, we might even go a bit lower than that as well if it's a content generation campaign. So it really depends on what you're looking for. So the second R is relevancy, and that is the niche or category that those influencers are in. So whether they're relevant to your brand, whether they're a category influencer, so where Drop Bottle, for example, it might be a nutritionist or a dietitian or somebody that has like quite a lot of authority within that space. Or it might be somebody who just, looks after their health and fitness and, wants an easy hydration solution that's going to fit into kind of their everyday life. So there are a couple of examples of what we might be looking for when it comes to relevancy of an influencer for Drop Bottle. And the third and final R, which is the most important, is the relationship that they have with their followers. Like strong indicators of a good relationship are higher engagement because their followers are really interested in everything they have to say. More comments, especially comments asking them advice or asking them where they got a specific thing in the photo. On my own personal profile, I get a lot of questions asking me different business advice. So of course, like if I was to work with a brand, the best types of brands for me would be, e-commerce brands or tools that I could, easily refer people across to because I already use them across my brands. So those sorts of things would make sense for me personally, but the types of influencers that we're looking for with Drop Bottle will be super engaged with strong YouTube followings or that have recently been on television are very influential because people are tied into their narrative and their life and they trust them more because they feel like they know them better. It's a lot easier to get to know somebody through even like a 10-second video than 10 to 20 static posts. They just don't show your personality in the same way. One of my favorite quotes is, people will forget what you said, they'll forget what you did, but they won't forget how you made them feel. So video is really good at giving people, I guess, like a general feel for who you are as a person. So the first strategy that I'm going to go through will be the best influencers for your brand, which are the influencers who are already following you on social media. So what I do with this is I keep an eye on who is coming in and following my brand, or you can just go across into your followers and have a look through. If you start this strategy, you'll start to look a lot more at who is coming in, who is following your brand. Every time I see somebody who could be a good influencer for us or a good brand to collaborate with as well, I can tap onto this Olivia co-store and have a look at them. They've got 18.7 thousand followers and they're personalized accessories for the every girl. That would obviously be more of a brand to brand collaboration, but it could definitely make sense because Drop Bottle is a bit of an on-the-go accessory. So, doing maybe a giveaway or something like that with their personalized mobile phone cases could make sense. What I'd do now is I would just hit the save button to the right-hand side and I would save them to one of the collections. If I don't have a collection already, I might create one called like brands following me or influencers following me. And every time I see an influencer who could be good to collaborate with, I just save them to these collections. And then you've already got quite a good base to start from. The good thing is they're already aware of your brand. They're already following you. They're already interested in your brand, so that you don't really need to convince them that they want to, work with your brand or show them the benefits of working with you, because they are already kind of a fan or follower of you. So they're always a really great place to start. Also, when you reach out to them, because they're following you already, you'll go straight into their main inbox rather than going off into the other section as well. So you're going to get their attention a little bit easier too. So the next strategy that we use all the time is just simply using the drop-down similar to function on Instagram. This is really great because the Instagram algorithm is very, very smart at matching similar accounts together. They have hundreds of data points on every single account on Instagram. So it could be that their followers are similar to each other. It could be that they post similar content. It could be that they're from a similar place. So what we can do is, once we find one ideal influencer that we like to work with, so for Drop Bottle, for example, we did a shoot recently with Madeline Burke, who did a lot of these beautiful images on our Instagram feed. And we know that she's a really great influencer to work with on behalf of our brand. And we know that our brand resonated really well with her followers. So now that we have a base to start from, and let's say that base is Maddie, we can tap across to her profile, and then we just hit the down arrow, which is the similar to function, and we can start to find more and more influencers that have a similar audience or following to her. So this is just the easiest way to find influencers in bulk. And sometimes what we actually do for this is I create a blank account, and I will follow only Madeline from that blank account. And then I'll use the drop-down function to follow like 100 more influencers that are exactly like Madeline, and she can go through and start reaching out and databasing all of those influencers to create an ideal reach out list. That's a quick, easy way that we build lists at scale to reach out to, 100 or even up to 1,000 influencers all at the same time. So because a lot of influencers have their email in their bio, or they have another contact section, or you can at least direct message them, there's always ways to reach out through this. So basically our VA will go through and database those influencers, putting in one column what their handle is, then what their following is, then what their contact details are, and the way in which they've reached out. And then we can keep going through making sure that we've followed up enough and that we get through to those influencers. Like, because every influencer isn't going to reply to every brand, we need to reach out to a lot more than we actually need. Say we want 10 or 20 influencers, we might need to reach out to like up to 100 to get a response from those. With Drop Bottle, it's a little bit easier because we've got a bit of an established brand and following, but to begin with, don't be disheartened if you reach out to like 1,000 influencers and only like 50 get back to you. That's still 50 people that have engaged audiences who are your potential customers, who you're able to now establish a relationship and work with. And the good thing about influencer marketing too is the more that you do it, the more exposure you get to other influencers. So basically, if Madeline posted our brand and wrote #ad, other influencers in the space would know that we are advertising through her and that we're open to collaborations. So they'll start to inbox us as well. So a #ad almost serves as a #ad for your brand, saying you're doing influencer marketing, come talk to us. So I'm on Madeline's page, and so there's Healthy Brie, there's Jessica Seipel, there's Beck Lomas. As you can see, there's a lot of different influencers, and all of these would basically suit our general vibe. So we've now found a whole extra database of influencers. So the next technique that we're going to be looking at is using other companies that are in your category. So they're not necessarily competitors, but they are companies that your customers would also buy from. So for Drop Bottle, that might be something like a hydration mix or a protein powder, anything that would have quite like health conscious, health orientated customers that are focused on improving their hydration, because that's the overall benefit of our drink bottle, is improving hydration. So let's go through and have a look. Let me type in a company that I know in our space. So let's go to Happy Way AU. They're a protein. we can have a look through at some of the other influencers they're using. As you can see, there's like 4 influencers in the top posts, if not more, from this user-generated content. So they do quite a lot of work with influencers across the space. So let's have a look. Here is a girl, Sam. We can tap through to her profile, Sam Aitken. She's got 27.6 followers, pretty good engagement for 26K. She gets, you know, about 500-ish likes across her profile, 700 there. Her sister is actually a big influencer as well, so I'd say that's probably a really good thing. One of the things that I look for, influencer groups or influencer clusters. So they're influencers that have kind of interrelated audiences. So a really good collaboration is when, say, we collaborated with Sam, we might also want to collaborate with her sister, who's also pregnant at the same time, actually, Danny, who has 168,000 followers. So we might pick a macro influencer with 168 and also collaborate with a smaller influencer with 27K. The reason that we want to do this is what we're looking for is audience overlap here. We actually want their audiences to overlap as much as possible. So we can imagine that because Sam and Danny take a lot of photos together and feature each other on their pages a lot, that they would have quite an overlapping following. Also, the fact that Sam's audience is smaller than Danny's means that probably a lot of Danny's kind of super fans would be going across and following Sam to kind of be even more involved in Danny's life, as weird as that sounds. This girl would be absolutely perfect. I'm actually going to follow her right now to reach out to. And again, we can easily then kind of use the drop down to find more influencers like that. So that was just one influencer that I just found. I'm definitely going to reach out to Sam and send her a drop bottle. That was an example from a brand in our category, so Happy Way. So we can target a lot of the same influencers that other brands in the health hydration space are targeting. So the next strategy or technique that we can use is to have a look at local PR companies in our area. The thing is that a lot of PR companies are now functioning almost as influencer agencies, but the thing is that they have, like, a lot of the time quite localized influencers, and they run different events where, you know, like 10 influencers might attend the event. A lot of the same time, the same influencers attend the same events, and a lot of them are friends as well. So that's just a different way of finding like a cluster of influencers that would have overlapping audiences because they're cross-promoting each other. So let's have a look at Portobello PR. Here we go. We can see that, you know, this girl could be good for a fashion brand. Just having a look through. This is a skincare one. Here we go. This girl looks good. Fit, healthy, works out, 17,000 followers, does quite a bit of IGTV. Oh, she's a trainer at JS Health app. That's perfect. So we can go through and she would be about right. So then we've found another one. So the next techniques that we're going to do is just looking more at the search functionality on Instagram. So if we head across to search, as we were just searching for accounts, we can go, let's start with places first. So a place that I searched recently for Drop Bottle was this kind of trending kind of smoothie bar thing that's on Chapel Street in Melbourne, which is quite nearby our area. It's called Green Cup, and like lots of influencers and stuff go there as well. So we can tap across to Green Cup, see we can see the types of people that are going there in the top post section. A lot of those will be influencer posts. Let's tap this girl, she looks happy. Tasha Jenkins, 4,000 followers. 4,000 is kind of just like on the cusp of an influencer, but let's have a look at her engagement. 724 likes, that's actually more than the girl that just had like 26K. So that's how we can see that like a lot of these micro influencers actually have much more engaged and niche audiences. And she actually sounds perfect for Drop Bottle. She works with Adidas Australia. She's in business sport management. So, you know, healthy, fit lifestyle. She'd be great. So there's another one. So after we're done with places, we could look at hashtags. So we could look at the green smoothie hashtag, for example. Have a look through there, 1.7 million posts. It's pretty broad. You can get a lot more niche with your hashtags if you want to, but we could tap onto like this smoothie bowl. That's pretty beautiful. This is just an account reposting another account, but Cali Girl Gets Fit. Okay. Well, we know actually that like we do have quite a large Californian customer base for our brand, so that would make sense. It's quite self-explanatory. She's also pregnant. I swear every influencer on Instagram right now is pregnant. Yeah, she does like cute little before and afters. She gets quite a lot of engagement, nearly 4,000 likes, 68 comments. That's all right. 300K, it's doable. So she could be a good one. So as you can see, that's how you find it through a hashtag. It's pretty simple stuff. And then we can go into accounts and we might want to look up the word nutritionist. So we can just do keyword search basically here. So here we go, Lindy Cohen, nutritionist, 106K. Lots of food prep, little pics. She'd probably have, yeah, basically the type of audience we'd be looking for. Oh, we can also see that she's a best-selling author and a TV dietitian. That's really good because like we said earlier, we're looking for people who have been on TV or do YouTube or a lot of IGTV because they've got a better relationship with their audience. So our third R. So those were some of my main kind of techniques or strategies to just quickly run you guys through when it comes to finding influencers. Like I said, if you can find kind of a base of even like one influencer, you're then able to find more and more because of the similar to function on Instagram. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd love you to leave a comment down below and also subscribe to the Foundr YouTube channel because I do quite a few of these videos and we've got more coming out soon. If you found this valuable, I also run a free e-commerce training with Foundr, which covers a lot more when it comes to reaching out to influencers, building a relationship, following up, and negotiating a contract with them. So if you want to check out our free e-commerce masterclass, you can do that via the link below and I'll see you in there.
The Foundr mission is to help you create an ass-kicking business and help you learn straight from the mouths of world-class founders. Get your free printed edition of Foundr magazine featuring Sir Richard Branson. Just cover shipping and handling at foundr.com/Branson.